When I was a kid in the 90s, I was, of course, obsessed with dinosaurs and read every dino book I could get my grubby little hands on. We were learning so much about dinosaurs in those days: the connections with birds, the fact that many seem to have been warm blooded, the meteor impact that led to their extinction. But there was one thing that they agreed we would probably never know: what color they were. Fast forward a generation, however, and new discoveries and scientific techniques are revealing a colorful prehistoric world we could never have imagined before. To begin, we need to discuss the fossil evidence that's left behind in the form of structures called melanosomes. These are parts of cells that produce, move, and store pigments, and they come in different shapes, which correspond to different colors. With this, paleontologists can get an idea of not only what color dinosaurs were, but how they used their colors to help them win the evolutionary struggle. Take, for instance, Sinosauropteryx. This animal had already made headlines back when it was first announced in 1996 as the first feathered non-avian dinosaur, something paleontologists had spent a generation scouring the entire globe in search of. This alone made Sinosauropteryx of incredible scientific interest, but the specimen wasn't done giving up its secrets by any measure. In 2010, scientists were able to showcase this animal like never before, when a team led by Michael Benton announced, for the first time, they could portray a dinosaur in true colors. And this is what they got: a white face they compared to a bandit mask, with a light brown body and a brown and white vertically striped tail. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of a ring-tailed lemur, with the black swapped out for brown. These endangered primates from Madagascar use their striped tails in displays to scare off rivals. Maybe Sinosauropteryx did the exact same thing. Another dinosaur we can color in is Anchiornis. This dinosaur would have been running around the undergrowth of Middle Jurassic China about 160 million years ago. Just a couple of weeks after the Benton publication, a second team featuring Jacob Vinther, a paleontologist who would soon make a name for himself as the world's leading expert on the coloration of extinct animals, published their own similar lines of research on this animal. Mostly gray and black, with white wingtips and legs, and a dark red crest on the head, likely for some sort of display, topping the whole thing off. Modern woodpeckers have a rather similar color scheme. A second, larger specimen was colorized in 2015, but this animal seemed to have overall duller colors than the 2010 individual. Microraptor is yet another dinosaur that can be added to the list. This tiny glider seems to have had a high-gloss iridescent black look. This caught scientists completely by surprise, as before this discovery, Microraptor was thought to be a nocturnal animal, yet no modern nocturnal bird possesses iridescent plumage for obvious reasons. Perhaps you've noticed a trend by now. All the dinosaurs we've discussed so far are miniature, carnivorous, and most importantly, very bird-like. This is because feathers are excellent at preserving melanosomes. So much so, in fact, that at first, many scientists thought they were seeing something completely different, like bacteria, though later studies have killed off that particular hypothesis. The question then is obvious: what about the dinosaurs that didn't have feathers? Turns out, we know the colors of some of them, too. Meet Psittacosaurus. This mid-Cretaceous plant eater was a distant relative of the famous Triceratops, and it's probably the dinosaur we know the most about. This is due to a boatload of spectacularly preserved animals, but the specimen we want to focus on rests today in the Senckenberg Museum in Frankfurt, Germany. In 2016, Vintner and Inns Cuthill announced that the specimen had a dark back and lightly colored belly, a pattern known as countershading. Countershading is used for camouflage by many modern animals, from prey species like the white-tailed deer to apex predators like the great white shark. Larger dinosaurs used countershading as well. At 18 feet long and a ton and a quarter in weight, Borealopelta was a tank on legs. But despite its large size, thick armor, and flank spikes up to a foot and a half long, it still had a similar color scheme to Psittacosaurus, indicating that it had very good reasons to hide. Interestingly, we don't know of any large carnivores that could have reasonably tackled Borealopelta in the area, but this color pattern shows that they were almost certainly out there. And I think that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got some subscriber milestone rewards I'm planning. Sign up on Patreon and mention some paleontology topics you want to see me tackle in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback and get some ideas for future videos. Hope to see you in the next one!